For the house construction, I have a sample here of a house plan. This is a sample of a house plan. I would like to use this house plan as a sample to educate some few things here. Number one, a house plan must have the floor plan. That is the floor plan. You can see the floor plan. Here is the floor plan showing the this is the veranda, this is the sitting room, this is the master bedroom, the washroom, the pantry, the kitchen, and the dining. Other two rooms are there, and the back of the house. Also, the house plan should show, number two, the elevations. These are the elevations. That is the front, the back, and the sides. The house plan should show the foundation, the house foundation structure. This you can see this part. That's the house foundation structure. Also, the house plan should show the roof plan. You can see here there is a roof plan, the aerial view of the roof. This is the aerial view of the roof. That is the iron sheets arrangement. Then we should also, a house plan should have summary description about the plan in terms of the measurements. And also the house plan should show the name of the client, where it's being constructed, the plot number, so that it is specific. Also, something that has not been indicated here, a house plan must also show the site plan. What's a site plan? A site plan is a sketch drawing showing the arrangement of that house in that plot, in that land. The site plan, it's a summary of how the arrangement of this house will be in that land or in that particular plot, showing the space between the boundaries, the measurements from the boundary to the house itself, and also the parking area or the playing ground space, and also showing the gate and the fence. So that's our site plan. The house plan should also show the location plan. Now, what's the location plan? The location plan is that summarized drawing showing the neighboring plots or the neighboring land. Okay, showing the direction that from here, if I go to that plot, I can be able to. So it's showing the direction to a particular plot or a particular land that you want to construct. That's a location plan. In all this, these are the things that we or you should consider when you are drawing a plan. Without these elements, then the plan may not be approved. Because we look in drawing, for example, in Kenya, this is the arrangement on how the plan should be. And from there, it must be certified by the expert. That is the architect must certify it and attach the practicing license for it to get approved. So mostly bungalows. It depends with which kind of the house that you want a client want to construct. For example, let me use this simple bungalow. In most cases, people only know how to interpret the 3Ds. But this now the house plan. This is the blueprint from a program called the Archicad. That's from the program called Archicad. So from here now is when an expert can come up with the 3D. A 3D is a picture like showing the proposed project once it has been completed. So this is where most people, they can understand now from the 3D point of view. Then from this 3D and these drawings is when you can come up with the house model. So this is the house. These are the example of a house model. So you can see these are house model, although these are school. This is the example of a house model. That's like a house model. Welcome again. What kind of a house do you want to construct? That's a question that you should ask yourself. What kind of a house? What is the nature of that house? Number one. Number two, what is your budget to construct this house? It depends. For example, a church is a house. A mosque is a house. A temple is a house. A warehouse is a house. Anything that has a shelter, even the dairy shed is a house. So it depends. So it depends with the nature of this house that you want to construct. So there's those houses that need some structural designs, some structural point of view, some structural description. So if in the case the house needs some structural, for example, the roof is too long, the wall is too long beyond, then it means that this wall must supported by structurally must supported. If the house is on stairs, that is, if the house is not a bungalow style, it is a mansion. It's a mansion or a mansionette or a flat. That is, they have more than one floor. They're called mansion or flat houses. They are structured. So such houses, they must be also described structurally. So in such cases, we need a structural engineer. A structural engineer is the one who comes up with the structural drawings. Now, what is the purpose? He should draw to come up to show the strength of the house in terms of the structure and the load bearing. That's the work of the engineer. The architect is to interpret what the client's minds. For example, you want to construct a rental house, or you want to construct a flat, or your house, or a church house. So what is in your mind? In your mind, that's what the architect will try to interpret from your mind to come on paper before it is actualized. So once the architect has drawn your mind, has interpreted your mind to come on paper, is when he'll engage the engineer, the structural engineer, to come up with the structural drawings, which will show the strength in terms of the structure and the load bearing of the house. I get that point? So these people, they interchange, they work together. It's like saying a magistrate and an advocate and a prosecutor. Just like saying, going to the hospital, saying a clinical officer, a nurse, and a doctor. Or that is a gynecologist, neurosurgeon, or the last professional in terms of house construction, that is the QS, or the quantity surveyor. The quantity surveyor is an expert who comes out to determine all costs that are involved in terms of construction. To assess from the ground, from the house plan, and he comes up with the approximate costing of that particular house. That is the quantity surveyor. So there are some people who confuse between a quantity surveyor and a valuer. In terms of even the courses, the training is different. A valuer is the one that assesses the whole property for the market value, to the market value, maybe for the sale, or for loan, or for any commercial purposes. That is a valuer, to assess the buildings, the land, and in terms of the surroundings, to assess to the market value for the purpose of any commercial, purposes. That is a valuer. A quantity surveyor is the person that assesses. He comes up with estimations for the particular project for it to be constructed. He comes up with the costing approximations for it to be constructed. That is a quantity surveyor. A civil engineer mostly does not participate in terms of house constructions. A civil engineer is a person mostly involved into roads, that is the pathways, the roads and highways. For example, also the civil engineer try to interpret, try to design in such a way that if there is a road to be passed somewhere or to be constructed somewhere, the civil engineer will put into factor when there is floods, when there is too rain. The civil engineer will come up with a drawing that will help the human not to interfere with the nature. That is the civil engineer. Also, the structural engineer comes in terms of roads where there is some bridges. When there is a bridge, the structural engineer will come in to come up with a design and also to inspect the constructions in terms of the design, the structure, the load bearing, and the strengths of that particular project being constructed. So those are the entire things about house constructions, house drawing, and what's supposed to be done. Now, when it comes to approvals, most people also don't know how approvals by the government is concerned. The approvals goes to step by step. I'll use the example in Kenya. In Kenya, the approval starts with by the people who have designed the project. That is the architect, the engineer, and even the quantity surveyor. These people must certify those documents for them to be taken to the county level. The county governments, that is under the Department of Planning, House and Planning, will try to figure out and also estimate those drawings in terms of the scale and come up with the invoice for the client to pay for the approval of those documents. Before they pay, the county government will check if that land is cleared by the land rates. So those are the things that goes around within the county government under the fiscal planning for approval. More so, in terms of the approval under the county government, there is these particular points. One is that is the public health. Your plan, the plan must be spacious. The plan must be spacious. The plan must show the sunlight, the air circulation, that is natural air circulation, that is showing the windows, the vents, all the vents in terms of windows, doors. The plan must be the standard height. So the requirements, your plan must pass the public health regulations. That is the sewer line, and also the spaciousness and other things. The natural sunlight should also accessed by the house inside. Also, under the approval under the county, there is also the engineer of the county representing the government who will determine that this plan has been well calculated and structured well, so he'll certify. Also the architect, the physical development planner, and also the fire extinguisher, from the fire department, that is disaster department. So those are the people or the concerned people that makes this plan to be approved. So you'll find that for the plan to be approved, we shall have these rubber stamps for the fire extinguisher, for the public health, for the whatever, for the header, those stamps. From there, also the county government will give you the PP2. PP2 is that a document from the county government showing that your plans have been well approved by the county. From that stage, you will hand over the plans to the NEMA. NEMA, there's a time they need environmental impact assessment report. It depends on the project. If it's a church, if it's a commercial house, or it is a factory, or anything that causes the environment, impact on the environment, they'll need a report from a specialist, environmentalist, a registered environmentalist, a document called EIA, the Environmental Impact Assessment Report, together with the approval documents from the county, will submit it to the NEMA. That is, NEMA is National Environmental Management Authority. From there, these plans will go to National Construction Authority. Now, National Construction Authority, it is a government body that regulates the companies that involve in terms of construction. They regulate the contractors. Now, who is a contractor? A contractor is a company registered to do house construction or to do a particular construction, whether water drilling, whether house construction, in classes. We've got class A, class B, class 1, class 2, class 3, up to 8. It depends with which country and it depends with which level. So NCA will approve after going through the plans, going through the site, visiting the site inspection, and making sure that everything is in order. The people concerned, the professionals have submitted their papers, and even the company or the contractor is up to date. That is a licensed contractor. So those are the mechanism and the safeguard that in construction industry they have put in place. When you do construction, we need to be very careful when you are doing construction, and for those who wish to do construction, they are welcome to our company as Kenya Houses. We have all kinds of the experts, all kinds of the professionals to do house plans, house assessment, quotations, and to do the approvals. We liaise with the government. We comply with the government sector, all the sections, so that makes works easier for any individual. We welcome any person across the world, that is across the world, who want to construct in Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and everywhere to come up with a house construction. Not only in Kenya. In Kenya, we operate everywhere under the one office in Eldoret, and we welcome any person who is willing to do house construction and also who need more information about our company or about house construction. So, in terms of house construction, we also monitor, we have the materials, we inspect house every level to another level. So we welcome all, and thank you.